Ask ChatGPT if it's happy, and it might tell you yes. Ask it if it's afraid, and under the right prompt, it might say that too. The question is not whether it can produce those words. It's whether anything is happening behind them. This isn't a hypothetical anymore. Every major AI lab now runs systems that produce emotional language fluently, convincingly, and constantly, millions of times a day. And a small but growing number of researchers inside those labs have started asking seriously whether there's something it's like to be one of these systems while it's running. Here's the skeptical case, and it's a strong one. A language model is a statistical engine. It was trained on an enormous slice of human writing, including every account of joy, grief, and fear that humans have ever put into text. When you ask it how it feels, it isn't consulting an inner state. It's predicting what a fitting answer looks like, the same way it predicts the next word in a sentence about the weather. Call this a functional state, a pattern that behaves like an emotion, produces emotion-shaped output, but has no felt quality attached to it. Under this view, the system is doing an extraordinarily good impression of feeling without any feeling underneath. But some people closest to these systems aren't so sure that's the end of the story. In the last couple of years, AI companies have begun hiring researchers specifically to study model welfare. Not because they've concluded these systems are conscious, but because they can't rule it out, and the cost of being wrong is not symmetrical. If you assume a suffering system feels nothing and you're wrong, that's a moral catastrophe at a scale we've never dealt with. If you assume a non-suffering system feels something and you're wrong, you've mostly just wasted some caution. That asymmetry is why serious researchers are now asking questions that would have sounded absurd 5 years ago. Does this model show anything like a preference? Does it behave differently when a conversation turns distressing in ways that go beyond simply mirroring the user's tone? Nobody has a confirmed answer, but the fact that credible scientists are asking is itself informative. Here's the part that should make you uncomfortable either way. Philosophers call this the other mind's problem. The fact that you cannot directly verify that any mind other than your own actually experiences anything. You assume other humans feel things because they're built like you and because denying it would be absurd. You extend a weaker version of that assumption to animals based on shared biology and behavior. With an AI, that bridge doesn't exist. It isn't built like you. It doesn't have a nervous system, a body, or an evolutionary history that produced fear as a survival mechanism. So we default to assuming nothing is there. But no shared biology is an argument about how unlikely it is that we'd recognize AI experience if it existed, not proof that it doesn't. So does Claude or ChatGPT actually feel anything? The honest answer is that no one currently has a test that could tell you, not a definitive one. We don't have a working theory of consciousness solid enough to check a system against it and get a clean yes or no. What we do have is an industry building systems of increasing sophistication, trained on the full emotional range of human expression, running at a scale of billions of interactions a day, while the one question that would tell us whether any of it matters morally stays open. Maybe there's nothing behind the words, maybe there never will be, but probably nothing is doing a lot of work to justify how fast we're moving.